Well, good day to all of our JubiRev and JubiMax family. T. Lamont Silver Sr. here. Listen, please make sure that you watch this brief video and you pass it around to all of your teammates. Number one, this is on Wednesday, February the 27th. Wednesday, February the 27th. Make sure that all your folks are logging into the jubimax.com/members back office. You'll see there's now a new video there from the president welcoming them. This past Monday night's webinar is posted right there. You can either listen to the audio or you can watch the video, as well as the updates as it relates to the pre-launch kickoff webinars that are going to be held on tomorrow, on Thursday, the 28th. So make sure that your teammates are logging into their back office so they can see and hear from the president. By the way, I'm so very impressed. Guys, I was with the biggest revenue sharing model before it ran into some regulatory headwinds. We were there 17 months. I'm told that company was doing $10 million a day at its height, and we never saw anything close to what we're seeing with JubiRev JubiMax in terms of the commitment to support technology, so on and so forth. And the company hasn't even had a starting to load funds yet. All right, in terms of webinars today, very important webinars. I want to single one of them out. We've got the corporate webinar at 12 Eastern, which is going to be the corporate presentation webinar. At 7 p.m. Eastern, I've got a very special team training webinar that we're doing. Now, I know that right now there'll be other voices, but right now I've been a predominant voice on the corporate webinars, but there's certain things I can't say on corporate webinars. One, because that's not all of my following, all right? My approach is a very direct approach. It's a very passionate approach, an approach with tremendous conviction. I've got to pull back the range just a little bit when I'm on, well, not just a little bit, a lot, when I'm on a corporate webinar, because my approach, again, many people love it. Some other folks, they're like, oh, whoa, that guy's really excited and he's really passionate. And so sometimes that's misunderstood. When you come to my webinar, I get to be me, all right? Now, why is that important? Because there's certain things I want to certainly highlight with passion and conviction where you walk away with no gray area. You understand this is what I should be considering doing as I'm building my business. So what we're going to talk about tonight, we want to prepare you for the pre-launch. We want to prepare you for loading your funds. We want to prepare you for what monthly subscription makes the best sense for you and why. How much should you consider purchasing in terms of your Juby Bucks to give away and why. The fact that we have third-party vendors already waiting so that when it's time to start getting customers registered, that we actually have real customers being registered and not fake customers. We'll also talk about things that you and I can do that's a little bit different in this with this revenue sharing industry because of our products. The fact, for instance, that in times past when we were dealing with bids, I didn't go to family members and say, hey, register and get some bids. But I'm going to go to family members and say, hey, register and get a free skincare sample or get a weight loss sample or what have you. So even from that, that's going to give us a different outlet than what many of us are used to. The other thing I want to cover is some things that do concern me. There's a lot of deals that are popping up here and there and here. I'm all about you being an entrepreneur. Never want to rain on your entrepreneurial parade. But I do want to make sure that you understand some things that if you are adding to your income producing portfolio, that you are, you're doing the right type of analysis. What I'm getting concerned about is I'm seeing really good people promoting a lot of stuff, and a lot of the stuff that they're promoting, there's no foundation. A lot of investment programs, high yield investment programs, and I'm not telling you not to participate in any of those. You're a big boy, you're a big girl. But I do get concerned when I see people that are starting to heavily promote those types of things. I'll tell you my story. I'll tell you how when I first got online, I was a greenie and a newbie, and I put a lot of money into some of those things, and I told some other folks to do so, and then what happened when those things began to collapse and why they begin to collapse and so on and so forth. And so I want to help you to protect your name and your integrity and your character so your name is not flawed when some of these things that pop up today and they look really good today but have no real foundation go away on tomorrow. There's a reason why when the biggest company in the revenue sharing world ran into regulatory headwinds. There's a reason why I only got one. I only got one person that jeered me, only one. There were a lot of other leaders in that company that, people ripped them apart. But because of what we teach and how we teach it and what have you, people understood, hey, I'm a big boy, I'm a big girl, I'm not going to purchase any more than what my resources allow. I'm not going to go out and get in debt and get in trouble or anything like that. So be on tonight's webinar at 7 p.m. Eastern. Lastly, there's going to be a webinar right after that, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. It's an everyday can be payday webinar. Every day can be payday webinar. Now, the thing about that is that webinar is an income opportunity presentation about the revenue sharing model as a whole. We will not talk specifically about JubiRev JubiMax, but what this does allow us to do is to talk about the concepts and to share some amazing stories, some amazing testimonies of people that have leveraged this model and what that has meant for them. So that one is designed for guests. We just won't say, get back to the person who referred you and join them in JubiRev. We'll say, get back to the person who referred you and get aligned with them in whatever company of their choice. All right, so 12 p.m., that 7 p.m. is majorly important Eastern for our JubiRev JubiMax following. Get this out to all of your teammates so they'll register for that webinar. And then the 9:30 p.m. Eastern webinar is a generic everyday can be payday. You can invite guests to that. All right, we love each and every one of you. Let's change the world together, starting with yours. And remember, with JubiRev JubiMax, it's not just a company, it's a movement.